US Nepal Climbers Association INC. It's a non-profit organization which was opened in 2010, has been helping since then, but was officially founded in 2014. Its motive is to promote growth and protection of mountaineering and climbing worldwide, safe and also ethical mountain practices, and promote responsible access, culture, and environment protection.
And to you one of the rocking and the biggest live concert ever held in Nepal by an international rock star, Bryan Adams. So let's move on to the Bryan Adams live in concert held at Dashrath Rangasala.
The most awaited international level concert started from 7:45 p.m. went till 9:45 p.m. on 19th of February, Saturday 2011. That is 7th of Fagun 2067.
My name is Bryan. I got the first real sex today.
First of all, we would like to call Aaron Paul, international pop star, to give his wonderful performance about mountains. Thank you.
I am a mountain. I am a pillar of strength. And I can be found in this part of the world. A peak above the nation, rise to the sky. From the dawn of creation, I've lived to stand the test of time, and only I crumble with age, like a book from a page, from a man who has lived his life with sheer strength and self-pride. But still I cry. I'm still a mountain, and I stand on solid ground, and I listen to the sounds of my heart that beats. I am a mountain. I am a mountain, and I have seen everything, every storm and its rage, and I won't miss anything. I will watch the seasons change. I am a mountain, pillar of strength for you all, and nothing can foul me. No winter, spring, summer, or fall. I'll stand on solid ground, and I'll listen to the sounds of my heart that see everything, yeah. I have this, and I won't miss anything. I'll stand on solid ground, and I listen to the sound of my heart that beats. And I thank you, Nepal.
हामी सबैको स्वर उच्च राख्दै भन्न चाहन्छु सगरमाथा हाम्रै देशमा छ हाम्रो नेपालमा छ धन्यवाद
Namaste, my name is Orlando and I'm here with UNICEF and I'm
It's not every day that children and families in rural communities in Nepal get a visit from an internationally known Hollywood movie star. He learned from children themselves simple solutions to basic needs and saw programs that UNICEF supports.
They take a clear plastic bottle, they fill it very to the top so there's no air in it, and then they place it at a 30-degree angle in the sun on a rooftop, one of the corrugated iron rooftops that can't be rusty, and they leave it there for 6 hours, and the UV rays kill the germs. So they sort of like water bottles, like milk bottles, they pass it over. So in the schools, they'd have like a batch that was being UV'd, as it were, purified by the sun, and then a batch that wasn't. And amazing, it was something so simple, to get that message out. What that means is instead of boiling the water, instead of cooking, so using the fuel to boil the water, they save on energy, and it's something that this 7-year-old kid was explaining to me he does, and he does it and brings 15 bottles of water home for his parents, for his family, the family to use. It sounds so simple, but it's just getting the information to the right place and then enabling it to be able to spread.
Great performer of Nepal, who is the 5 times Guinness Book of World Records holder, Parkour, Dinesh, Sunar.
टुक्रा टुक्रा मारमाई पारी तर्न खोज्दैछु फेरि जुडिएको डोरी समाई अब सास फेर्न खोज्दा निसासिन्छु म तपाईलाई चाल्न खोज्दा भासिन्छु मेरो मन कहीं टाढा लैजा मेरो मन आज लैजा मेरो मन आज यो भिड भन्दा धेरै पर फर्किन चाहन्छु आफ्नै घर लैजा रे यहाँ को चलन मन सकीना यहाँ को खुशी किन्न सकीना यहाँ को चलन मन सकीना यहाँ को खुशी किन्न सकीना सुन्छु म यहाँ यो शहरको भिडमा सुन्छु म यहाँ यो शहरको भिडमा मान्छेहरूको मुटु छैन रे लैजा मेरो मन आज लैजा मेरो मन आज यो भिड भन्दा धेरै पर फर्किन चाहन्छु आफ्नै घर लैजा रे लैजा रे लैजा रे
It's a far cry to the Alps and the Himalayas, but Dutch would-be mountaineers don't let that daunt them. They train at home. Amsterdam buildings provide a lot of the conditions rock-faced climbers have to negotiate, and though there are no precipices, the pavement below is a pretty hard substitute. That's the way to get in if you come home late and she's locked the door on you. That girl's the clinging type, obviously.
When I work with these NGOs, these nonprofit organizations, you kind of go on the ground, you see what's happening. I did a whole excursion where I went to Nepal, went on elephant back and looked for tigers. Of course, for 4 days I was there, didn't see a single tiger. They blend into the jungle, and the elephants sort of go up on their hind legs and they react to a tiger being there, but you can't actually see them. And then I went to...
Wait, what happens when you're on an elephant and it goes on its hind legs?
You hold on.
Okay.
You hold on for dear life.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Ryan Waters. I own Mountain Professionals, and I just want to say congratulations to the U.S. Nepal Climbers Association. I've climbed Everest 6 times, and happy to be involved with the organization, and good luck with everything.
In 2009, renowned actor and philanthropist Richard Gere visited the session clinic in Kathmandu, Nepal.
This is amazing. I was kind of blown away by it. Professionals in 50,000 people here to take care of this. Everywhere I look, I see wonderful doctors, great equipment. Everyone seems very relaxed about what they're doing. The patients seem very confident that they'll be taken care of properly. This is a great gift. This is real seva.
I am Alisha Limbu, and I was recently crowned as the second runners-up of Miss Nepal US. So first of all, it is an extreme honor, and it would definitely not be possible without Miss Nepal US organization and US Nepal Climbers Association. So I would like to express my sincere gratitude for this opportunity. Today, it is a very auspicious occasion for all of us Nepalese people, not just living in US, but all around the globe. As our pride, the top of the world, that is 8,848 meters high, our Sagarmatha is being recognized and celebrated as Mount Everest Day on May 29 at New York State Assembly Hall. So on behalf of the entire Miss Nepal US family, I would like to congratulate the US Nepal Climbers Association and especially thank the Assemblywoman herself, Jenifer Rajkumar, for all the support and countless effort in bringing the Mount Everest to the world and making us a part of this huge celebration. So Nepal is a country where everyone has their own Everest to conquer every other day. This is another Everest that we have conquered together as a family, and it's a huge achievement. So I would like to congratulate each and every one of you here tonight. Thank you so much. My country, my pride, mero desh, mero garba, Jai Nepal.
Hi, my name is Alex Harz. I'm an Everest summiteer and a filmmaker. I am the producer and director and host of the Quest Nepal and the Quest Everest VR experience. I'm happy to be a part of the U.S. Nepal Climbers Association, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much. Now we will have a brief remarks by our Acting Consul General of Nepal, Mr. Bishnu Kumar Gautam.
Thank you. Chairman of the U.S. Nepal Climbers Association, Mr. Pasang Nima Sherpa, Honorable Jenifer Rajkumar, New York State Assembly member, elected politicians, officials, just now elected, recognized and awarded Mount Everest climbers, members of Nepali communities, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, on behalf of the government of Nepal and Consulate General of Nepal in New York and on my own behalf, I would like to thank the New York State Assembly and Honorable Jenifer Rajkumar for making this possible to declare May 29 as the Mount Everest Day. It is with a great pride that we accept the friendship between the United States and Nepal. This occasion has further contributed in our bilateral relations and between peoples-to-people relations. It is a great recognition for the climbers who have contributed in various ways by their achievement, by their contribution, as well as by promoting peace and humanity, the message of ultimate courage and dedication. It is with no small effort that they have achieved this recognition. It is truly said, Honorable Jenifer Rajkumar, that not everybody who tries, who attempts to climb can succeed. Therefore, it is an extraordinary achievement that you have achieved today. And it is also an extraordinary achievement for Nepal, Mount Everest, the Nepali community, and Nepali American community for having this day declared to be the Mount Everest Day to be celebrated 29 onwards. Mount Everest, on this occasion, I would like to recall some names. First of all, I would like to recall Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay for first of their ascent to the Mount Everest. That is how they showed the path that human beings can do what looked at that time impossible. They have shown us a path of courage that we should continue with the hardship, hard work, and dedication. I'd also like to remember the names of, at this moment, Sir George Everest, who surveyed the Mount Everest and named it as such. I'd also like to thank our history laureate, Baburam Acharya, for giving Mount Everest the Nepali name Sagarmatha. Therefore, we call it Sagarmatha. Sagarmatha stands as a peak of friendship between China and Nepal. It is also stands as a tall epitome of human adventure. It is a tall witness of the global events that are unfolding. Mount Everest stands as a representative of all mountains. Being the highest peak on the earth, it represents what the general mountains all over the world, south and north, east and west, would have their characteristics, the ecosystems, and ultimately, most of all, it is the water tower. The mountain regions where the Mount Everest lies has been contributing many civilizations. It has been contributing over 2 billion people sustain their life through water, ecosystem, and various other means. Therefore, for the Sherpa community and many others, Mount Everest is also a life, is a god, is also of many things, a symbol of pride and achievement. There are many episodes, many events going on since the first ascent of the Mount Everest some 68 years ago. While we are celebrating this occasion as the Mount Everest Day in New York, we also recall many people, many climbers who lost their life, who sacrificed their life in their attempts to Mount Everest, in their support, in their contribution to many other climbers making their journey ahead. I would like to remember all those fallen climbers at this occasion. And I bow in front of you, all climbers who are here, for your achievement, for making Nepal pride, your contribution and your dedication and courage. Mount Everest also has another dimension today. As one of the distinguished speakers a moment ago presented, that today the human history is fighting unprecedented record of climate change. The climate change has made many lives difficult, not only in the Himalayan region, not only to the Sherpa community, to many people downhill. The patterns of rain, the patterns of weathers have changed drastically. The ecosystem is in decline. The Mount Everest, which is on the third pole after the two polar that carry the largest chunk of ice, they are retreating. The glaciers are retreating. Now, Mount Everest Day, while we are celebrating, while declaring that, it also reminds that how we can make our partnership stronger and better in the preservation of the mountain ecosystem, and the lives and livelihood and the jobs that are associated with. It is not with sole responsibility of a particular community or government, because climate change are happening all around, and the human history is responsible from all around. Therefore, I would like to call upon at this moment that we be responsible in terms of mountains, climbing, in terms of mountaineering, in terms of promoting tourism, and also in terms of promoting our economic generations. We need to be responsible. We need to be partnering. There should be some new, innovative, and alternative ways how we can continue our livelihood, at the same time also preserve our pristine mountains, the rivers, and the ecosystem, and all that flora and fauna that we pride for. The mountaineers, the climbers, have contributed a lot to Nepal's economy. We have been dependent for tourists. Many lives, many families are dependent on the tourists and tourism. But COVID-19 had its all great impacts on our economy, and especially for the hospitality sectors and the climbing and mountaineering, every sector. Now onward, we hope that together with our struggle, our fight against COVID-19, we will be able to devise some more innovative means so that we could collectively help address the problems that are associated with climate change, and also make it sustainable tourism, sustainable mountaineering, and sustainable humanity, and ensuring our future work and our future life. I hope this occasion will help us to unite between the United States and Nepal, between the people of the United States and Nepal, both at the government level as well as both at the people's level. I look forward to work together with you all, with this New York State Assembly, US people, citizens, government, and all our Nepali community together in our journey together. I thank you all.
Colonel Hunt, followed by Tiger Tenzing, leaves the aircraft which brings the triumphant Everest expedition back to Britain. London airport is crowded with hundreds of well-wishers and nearly 100 pressmen. Posing with the rest of his party, Colonel Hunt carries the ice axe used on the last lap of the assault. Tenzing's wife and 2 children flew in with the team. Mr. Pugh's little daughter rushes to greet her father back from the roof of the world. Eagerly, wives and relatives gather round to welcome the heroes home again. Greetings, too, for Edmund Hillary, the lanky New Zealander, who, with Tenzing, reached the summit of the Great Mountain. Questioned about the main reason for the success of the expedition, their leader, Colonel Hunt, modestly pays tribute to the many who tried but failed in previous assaults.
I'd unhesitatingly say that the basic reason for our success is the accumulation of experience and information provided for us by all our illustrious predecessors on the mountain.
Edmund Hillary speaks of the main difficulty and troubles encountered on the final attempt to reach the summit.
I think main worry throughout the rest of the actual ascent was the question of the supply of oxygen. We kept constant watch on our oxygen supply and the usage, and even when we were on top, we were very worried as whether we had enough to get down again. Fortunately, we did.
Now he tells of his feelings when he reached the top.
I think personally my main one was a relief that we got there.
Asked about the report that Tiger Tenzing saved his life during the ascent, Hillary says,
Tenzing and I had been climbing together a good deal, and I think we've become a fairly happy pair. And this was just one example of how a pair roped together are a unit, and how one is always protecting the other. I was leading down the icefall, and when I was crossing a crevasse, a large lump of ice gave way on which I was standing, and I set off down a crevasse. Well, Tenzing, who was following, had the rope tight in a very short time and pulled me up, so I didn't go very far.
Tenzing, who can speak no English, is asked his reactions to his magnificent achievement.
They're very happy.
Crowds had gathered in Leicester Square only a few days previously when Her Majesty attended the first performance of the film taken during the victorious ascent of Everest. Colonel Sir John Hunt, the expedition's leader, welcomed the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh to the cinema. Tiger Tenzing was back in his own country, but fellow conqueror Sir Edmund Hillary was there. Other members of the expedition were introduced to Her Majesty before the show began. The young cameraman Tom Stobart, who filmed the ascent, watched his leader explain some of the equipment they used in the battle to the top. At the same time, Sir Edmund explained the gear to the Duke. One of the climbing suits, especially designed for high altitudes, interested the Queen. It was on Coronation Day that we heard that Everest had been conquered. Since then, the full, stirring story has been told, and now Her Majesty leads the nation in paying tribute to the men who won this new glory for Britain.
You are a UNICEF ambassador. You traveled, 10,000 miles to Nepal.
It was amazing.
Do you think it put some of the struggles that you deal with in perspective by seeing something that was so different than...
Yeah, I'm living in a bubble. I think essentially most people are when they're constantly on their phones. I love being able to do that for my fans because then they can see what is going on in the world. They're now knowing. They now know where Nepal is. Maybe before they didn't. I didn't. It's learning with them. It's growing. It's channeling all of the right energy to something that actually matters in the world.
I would like to begin with homage to the long-life goddess and sacred protectress Myo Losangma, who resides upon and guards Mount Everest. Namaste, ladies, gentlemen, distinguished guests, and the Honorable Assemblywoman Rajkumar. I'm deeply honored to be here and speak on this day as we look forward to next spring when New York will celebrate the first ever Mount Everest Day. When I tell people that I study in Nepal, many unfortunately are unable to find it on a map, but all immediately know when I say Mount Everest. And I especially wish to recognize the brave, resolute, and hardworking Sherpa people who for generations have made the Everest region their home. These guardians of Mount Everest and her surroundings have long maintained a presence in the region, protecting it, caring for it, and now protecting and caring for those who go there. The insurmountable skill of the Sherpa people is frequently overlooked and denied the recognition it is due, despite the fact that the name Sherpa is now a synonym for one who climbs mountains in the service of others. For every tourist who seeks to imitate Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, how many Sherpas prepare the lines, ready the camps, and haul pounds of equipment? As thrill seekers climb with minimal packs and the newest equipment just to tell friends at home of their exploits, how many Sherpas climb ahead on used gear, risking their lives to clear the way? How many have summited Everest more times than we can count? And how many have not come home? I may not be Nepali, but to me, this recognition is a source of pride. I live in Nepal, my neighbors are Sherpa, my landlord is Sherpa, the The man who runs my favorite coffee house is Sherpa, and the sisters who own the convenience store downstairs are Sherpa. Many work hard in Kathmandu to send money back to their families in the Everest region for better education or better opportunities. And while they may be in Nepal, I know that there are many hardworking people right here in this room right now who are doing the exact same thing. I hope that in recognizing Mount Everest Day, we will shine a light on all of the people in Nepal, that we will encourage ecological improvements to protect the mountain, recognize and reward her people, and prosperity shall rain down on Nepal. Dhanyavad.
To me. Wonderful. Oh, you are so multi-purpose.
This is a tiny small present.
That's beautiful.
And this is all woven by hand through this machine. Yeah, that's the lady.
Oh, so I will meet the woman who she's doing.
Yeah,
that is beautiful. Look at that.
It's very hand woven. I think it matches also with your dress.
It is just wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The first South Asian woman assembly member of New York State, and our dear friend. Please welcome Honorable Jenifer Rajkumar.
Namaste. Good afternoon. I'm State Assemblywoman Jenifer Rajkumar. I'm the first South Asian woman ever elected to New York State office. And I am thrilled to be here today to honor the climbers that summited Mount Everest. These remarkable individuals I am honoring today have truly achieved one of humanity's greatest feats. They have climbed the Earth's highest mountain. They have literally stood on top of the world. They show us the high achievement of which humankind is capable. They show us how seemingly ordinary people are capable of extraordinary feats. All of us climb our own mountains every day and in our own lives. These mountains are certainly not easy. Not every attempt to climb is successful. These individuals who climb the world's highest mountain are our inspirations. The climbers donated a large frame picture of Mount Everest to my district office. And every day I look at that painting and I remember all the mountains we all have to climb every day throughout our lives and how it can be done with the same bravery, focus, and sheer guts of these climbers. As the first South Asian woman elected to a New York State office, I am also proud to say that these remarkable individuals who have scaled the world's highest heights are Nepali Americans who live here in the great state of New York. Mark my words, just as the Nepali Americans have scaled Mount Everest, so will they reach the highest heights in the state of New York. Our community, the South Asian community, the Nepalese community, has a seat at the table of power of government in this state like never before. And that is why, at this time, I would like to make a historic announcement. For the big historic announcement, I would like Pasang Nima Sharpa and Vanessa O'Brien to stand with me on the stage. So if they could please come to the stage. Pasang Nima Sharpa, as we all know, is president of the U.S. Nepal Climbers Association. And he himself has summited Mount Everest. Vanessa O'Brien is the first woman to reach the Earth's highest and lowest points, receiving a Guinness World Record. Please, another round of applause for both of them and their extraordinary accomplishments. And I would also like to invite here our great leader, Somnath Ghimire. Somnath Ghimire, a great political and community leader and my great friend who empowers Nepali New Yorkers every day through the sheer power of diplomacy and organizing. A round of applause for him and his great leadership. And now it is time for a historic announcement. My friends, the time has come to recognize Nepali Americans and Nepal's remarkable Sherpa community. The time has come. The time has come to recognize New York's Sherpa community, known for its elite mountaineers. I am proud to say that New York City has the largest Sherpa community in the United States with a population of 16,000. The time has come for our state to honor the climbers that put their lives on the line to reach the top of the world. The time has come for our state to honor those climbers that reached the top, those that tried, and those that died while trying. The time has come to honor these heroic adventures that push the limits of human achievement and show all of humanity that we are capable of it if we focus, what we can do if we try, the mountains we can climb if we put our minds to it. The time has come to honor the great Nepali American Sherpa heritage and its elite mountaineers. That is why, at this time, as New York State Assemblywoman, I am very proud to announce that from henceforth, the date of May 29th will be Mount Everest Day in the state of New York. And the historic first of its kind day that I have established in this state, none other than Nepal Day, will be on the 28th of May. It was 68 years ago, on May 29th, that Tenzing Norgay and Edmund Hillary made the first ever human ascent of Mount Everest. When asked, which of you set foot on Mount Everest first, they replied touchingly, we did it together. Indeed, the two explorers were roped together. Their fates depended upon each other. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all roped together in this journey, in the fight to cure cancer, eliminate poverty and climate change, and save our planet. We will succeed or fail together. Roped together, we must defeat the scourge of deadly disease, COVID-19, the war that rages in Afghanistan and other parts of the world. Edmund Hillary said that it was an extraordinary experience to share dangers with your peers and attack those dangers together. He said it is not the mountain that we conquer, but ourselves. He also emphasized that good planning was essential to a successful climb, and that it all comes down to motivation and what you yourself are willing to do. This all speaks to the discipline and teamwork required for successful climbing. People do not decide to become extraordinary. They decide to accomplish extraordinary things. And he also said, when you're climbing at high altitudes, life can get pretty miserable. Indeed, no great feats are easy or comfortable. Most movingly, Hillary said that even though he enjoyed his adventures to the poles and Everest, his most worthwhile activities were building schools and medical clinics. Tenzing Norgay, a great Nepali, described his life after summiting Everest. It has been a long road, from a mountain coolie, a bearer of loads, to a wearer of a coat with rows of medals, who is carried about in planes and worries about income tax. Nevertheless, despite the heroic stature he achieved in society, he kept his feet on the ground. We learn much from these great explorers, and we can also learn from the people on this stage. Vanessa O'Brien the first woman to reach the Earth's highest and lowest points, achieving a Guinness World Record. She wrote an incredible book about her journey, and she was guided for a bit by a female mountain guide. She shows the greatness of which women and girls are capable, and for that, I admire her deeply. And just this week, it was announced that the first all-Black team will climb Mount Everest for the first time. The first American expedition to reach the top of the world was actually in 1963, the same year that Martin Luther King read his I Have a Dream speech. And now I am proud to say the first all-Black team will soon climb Mount Everest. I also stand before you as the first Hindu American ever elected in New York State. And growing up, like all children, schooled in Eastern spirituality and the Dharmic traditions, I learned that Lord Shiva meditated on top of the Himalayas. To the Sherpa and Nepali community as well, the Himalayas is a sacred place. It's the top of the world. So as our community enters leadership in New York State like never before, I am proud to report that I introduced a first-of-its-kind piece of legislation in the state capitol to make Gyawali a school holiday in New York City. To the Nepali Americans here that summited Mount Everest, you are great New Yorkers. You are great adventurers and give us all a roadmap for living life. The American philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson, he spoke very powerfully when he said, speaking about adventure, be not a slave of your own past. Plunge into the sublime seas, dive deep and swim far, so you shall come back with a new self-respect, with new power, and with an advanced experience that shall explain and overlook the old. Congratulations to all the Nepali New Yorkers that have stood on the top of the world.
right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a 30-minute break, so please enjoy refreshments. We also have a raffle with 3 Arc'teryx shells and 2 backpacks, so please look at those. Those will be in the lobby, so we'll see you in 30 minutes. Thank you.
And without any further delay, we have our very special guest, our dear friend of Nepal, Honorable Gale Brewer, Manhattan Borough President. Please welcome Honorable Gale Brewer, Manhattan Borough President, for her remarks on this special day, on this historic day. Here she comes.
So, good afternoon. It is an understatement to say that it's an honor to be here today with all of you. I always think of Assembly Member Jenifer as the rock star of Manhattan and Queens, I want you to know, both. She and I worked together when she lived in Manhattan, and we're so honored to have her in office in Queens. And I don't like all elected officials, I am one, but she really is phenomenal. However, I think she and I would agree that the fact that you are honoring these amazing people who have climbed Everest puts us all in awe and puts everything in the world in perspective. I have to say, when I hear the word Everest, I only dream of the accomplishment. You defied the odds and climbed Everest. And on top of that, you've helped dozens of visitors to Everest make their dream come true, whether it's to the base camp or above. I know that you're here today. It's a very special day. But for those of us in New York who can accomplish getting around the 5 boroughs, that's nothing compared to Nepal and Everest. It really is an honor to be standing before you. People who have achieved something that to most people in the world is physically and mentally impossible. I am in awe of your strength, your courage, and your determination, and everything that goes on in Nepal, from the Consul General to the government and beyond. Growing up, I certainly heard about Sir Edmund Hillary, but as true in so much of the world, the real issue and the real hero was his guide and his partner, and the person who made his summit possible, Tenzing Norgay Sherpa. Nobody else should actually be honored or mention the name Sir Edmund Hillary without Tenzing Norgay Sherpa. So I'm really glad that we're decolonizing the narrative, putting Sherpas front and center where they have always belonged. So over and over again, I want to thank all of you, Assemblymember Rajkumar, for honoring the Everest heroes. Heroes in the real sense of the word. We talk about those who are essential workers. They're heroes during this awful pandemic. But the fact that you are honoring the individuals who you are today, they are the real heroes. So it's an honor to celebrate with you. And we hope that Mount Everest Day will also exist next May. Congratulations. I have to say, nothing is more impressive than those sitting here today and the people you're honoring. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
But now I'm leaving and I can't be late. And to myself, be true. I'm going to Kathmandu, up to the mountains where I'm going to. Hey, if I ever get out of here, that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, Kathmandu, really, really where I'm going to. If I ever get out of here, I'm gonna Kathmandu. I got no quarrel with the Midwest. The folks out there giving me